Hello everyone, and welcome to another short video tutorial where I show you how to sink or float an object. So basically this fireplace was used with all the methods that I have showed up until now. The bowl method, the flick method where I flicked this campfire over here, and the sink method where I sunk this, and even the cancellation method because I had to cancel this out so I can put it into place. Okay, so let's go over here where I have a shelf, and we're going to sink this brazier into the ground. I'm just gonna start with this, or float it, depends what you need. So we're gonna start from up here. I'm going to place this building block up top and then cancel its movement by pressing the number button and cancel it over there. If you want to know more of the canceling method, go see the other links that I have in my description as well. So we just place the brazier on top, and once we drag the cube, the brazier will be sunken, but it's just a little bit. It matters what height your shelf is. So we want it sunken a little bit more. For that, we're gonna have to go a little bit more upwards. Okay, so we do it this again. We take this down, we cancel, and then place it on top. And once we drag it, now this time it's sunken a bit too much. Maybe around here. Okay, so I placed the cube over there. We cancel it underneath. We put the brazier on top, and once we move, there we go. Now that's a good placement. And the bad part of it would be that it's always linked to this item. So depending where you want to have your fireplace, in this case, you have to keep in consideration how far you want it to be and where you want to hide your stone crate. So we can do this again. I will actually take this down a little bit more, and to show you that you can also do a distance so you can hide it. Okay, so let's say I want to hide this cube, I don't know, behind this bench and have my fire pit over here in the front. So we can also look at the squares, and if I want to have it here, I need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 squares. Okay, so we're gonna drag the cube 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares, and I'm gonna cancel it out over here. Now we put the brazier on top. I'm gonna put it in the center this time, and once we move this a little bit, it jumped over there. So I can just pick this up, and as you can see, I cannot place it because there's a bunch of pavers there, so it won't let me add it. But here comes in handy the cancellation method. So you can drag this somewhere. Let me drag it here where there's an empty space. And if you want to see more about the cancellation method, again, you can go see my other videos. And then add the cubes over here. This time it will let me. They're still linked, and as you can see, the brazier is moving there in the back. So once I place this, the brazier is gonna go there into the front. And now I have the cube hidden there behind the bench. You can cover it up with whatever, and you have your fire pit over here. And if you want to do like a grill, like I did back there at my fire pit. That's what's it called? I forgot the name. Here it is. You just use the flick method and the cancellation method combined. So you remember the spot. Actually, you don't need the flick method for this. You can just place it. You cancel it. You add in the fire pit. And then by moving this a little bit, it will be on top and you have a blazing campfire. Yeah, this needs to be a little bit more underground, but this is just an example, so it's okay. So yeah, that's how you sink an item to make it float. It's the same but in reverse. You start by adding your block or whatever item you want to float underneath, and then depending on what height you need, you cancel the movement up here. Then I will add my brazier here on top, and once I drag this, the brazier is now floating. You also need to keep in mind the height of the item, but once you do more things like this, you know, you will learn the gist. Okay, so you have a floating item. You can add it here on the shelf, even though you can do that with the flick method as well. It's not a perfect alignment, but you get the idea. If you ever need to float an item like this, so you can use this to also rotate items. I'm not that good with rotating items, but you can do that. So you place your cube over here, you rotate the shelf, and then you cancel it on the ground. You add your brazier, and once you move it, it will rotate. So as you can see, it rotated on the spot. I dragged it. This is the drag distance that I made. So yeah, the rotating object works a little bit different. You would need a lot of practice to do this perfectly. I'm not good with rotating items, which is why I don't quite often use this method unless I really want something. So you put your cube over here, you rotate it so it rotates on the spot. You would need to cancel your object on the spot, I guess. Place your brazier, and then once you move it, oh, that's actually interesting. It merged inside a cube. I never intended to do that, but I guess this is nice. So yeah, it rotated on the spot and it's inside there. If you want in a different position, let's try this again. Okay, so we rotate. I'm gonna keep the cube on the ground so it won't float. It's nearly on the ground. We cancel the movement, but we move aside a few steps. We added this, and now the brazier should pop over there for some reason. Yeah, like I said, I'm not good with the rotating part. I'm not sure how this works. So you will have to try it and see what works. Like if you go a bit more upwards, it's gonna remain on the ground or something. I haven't experimented with this enough to know how this properly works, but you can do it if you want. It's here. I mostly use the sink and float method because I usually need those. Yeah, now because this was higher once we started, it's now lower. So it's somehow in reverse, I guess. But yeah, that's it for today, and this was mostly for the sink and float method, which I mostly use. So see you next time. Bye bye.